Welcome back. We are here for round 3, part 3, whatever you want to call it. And we are going to be getting into this swing arm, as I've long mentioned now. I'm sure everybody's tired of me hearing about it. So what we're going to start off doing is we're going to pull this half skid. We're going to pull the guide and get those out of the way. I'm just going to move the guide up. Actually, I probably will be breaking the chain free. That is part of this, so I'll just take the guide right off, actually. And then we'll pull the, we'll put the new sprocket on here, and we'll play around with the linkage fitment and its relationship to where this current sprocket is fixed on the hub. Now, some of you might say I should compress the suspension. I should put it down on the ground. And I'd say, yeah, you're probably right, but we have some play in here, and I think it's essentially going to be quite relative if I allow the suspension to be compressed or not. I don't think it's going to move around a whole lot. It will tighten the chain at just a hair. But as you know, when you compress these old Yamaha setups, you compress them, then the chain tightens. So ideally, I should do it fully compressed, but I'm just going to do it as is right now because it's relative. So that's the plan. So I'm going to put you guys on the stand so I can use 2 hands, and then we'll get started. Quick side note, this half XFR skid plate was awesome. It's been ideal. Doesn't get hung up on everything like a ramp or like a sled, and man, it protects the sprocket so well. So if any of you have one of these, the full one, you can literally just get away with cutting the rest of it off and using just this part. Works great. So the reason I'm leaving the guide on is to get an idea. Once we get an idea of this placement, I will have to cut off the mounting bracket for the guide and move that back when we shorten the swing arm. So this has to move back too. So this will give me some idea of how much. I'll have to do that after the fact, but it'll just give me a little brief idea right now. So now I'm simply just going to do this. I'm going to roll this right next to as close to the guide as I can, and then see where these line up. So right now I'm at an odd length. Actually, let me pull the chain tight. I think I had too much slack in there, so pull it tight. As tight as I can for now. So that's just about right there. And it gives a little bit of room right there, just a hair. Now I'm just going to measure from inside diameter of this sprocket to inside diameter of this sprocket. I'm going to rotate this just a little bit. Approximately 50 millimeters. I'll go to imperial. I prefer metric for a lot of reasons, but because that's what I use for my day-to-day work, but I don't know. I'll use Imperial right now as well. Funny enough, that comes to just under 2 inches. With this scale, it's actually, try to be as precise as possible. It's just about at 2 inches. So, I'm not sure what all the fuss is about online about ordering a -2 and you actually get 1.25 inches. I read that in a few places. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not in a position where I can spend $900 on a new swing arm, -2 swing arm, just to find out that it's only 1.25 inches, or if it is in fact -2, a true 2. So whatever, I'm doing this by myself and just showing you guys how I'm doing it. So roughly 2 inches. And I know we have, let me move the camera for you, between the tire and the heel guard we have more than 2 inches. I think we have exactly 3. I'll move the camera. I'll just throw this tire on real quick and show you from this point, from this side. Okay, tire's back on. And here's the gap between from the edge of the swing arm to the tallest or closest lug, I'd say it's just over 2.5 inches. So pretty close. So I think with a 2-inch move and a 20-inch tire, we'll be sitting pretty. We'll have some good space. If I move it 2 inches and I have these 22-inch tires, I'll have a 1/2 inch gap, which is not much, but it's still not super close. So I think it's doable. Now, I don't want to do all this work and regret not taking too much out. The way I see it is 1 inch might do the trick, but 2 inches I don't think will be so extraordinarily different that I don't think I would have regret by going that short. Like, it just stands up all day, pops a wheelies like it's going out of business, and it's uncontrollable. I don't think it'll be that severe of a change. So I'm willing to risk the full 2 inches, and I think I just decided that's what's going to happen. So I'm going to take everything apart now, and we're going to get that much closer to cutting the swing arm and getting it ready for the carrier. So got a lot of work to do there. Hang tight, and you'll see how I work it all out. Okay, here's the swing arm, completely removed, and somewhat cleaned up. I gave it a quick wipe down. I got a whole bunch of grease off of it and everything. Now, as you can tell, the actual axle, the center of the axle, is above center from the center line of the swing arm. Okay, here it is, butt naked, as they say. Got most of the paint off. There's just little corners and stuff where there's some paint left, but I'm saving that for when I'll probably put it in the blast cabinet and media blast it all the way down. But there's a little detour I have to take here, which I wanted to show all of you. There is a crack on, I think it's this side on the bottom side. I saw it in the paint. I wasn't sure if it was just the paint cracked, but it looks like it's the steel. I'll show you that in a minute. So I'll have to cut that open and weld it, do a little repair job on there. And this is primarily what I wanted to show you. If any of you were curious what the inside of a swing arm looked like after 25 years, let's see if I can give you a good view here. It's going to be a little challenging, but it is. Let me get the camera lined up. kind of rusty in there. It's not extremely bad. It's not severe rot. I know you guys can't see it too well. Maybe that's a little better. See if I can do it there. Kind of hard with this camera and the phone. Anyway, it's pretty rusted in there, so I got a lot of work to do. I gotta de-rust it and then probably put some zinc phosphate type coating on the inside. So I've got a plan of attack for that. I'll either just blast it really hard for as long as possible, but I'm kind of thinking of doing the old school poor man's remedy, which I've done a few times and it's worked before. I actually did it when I was relining the gas tank in this H2. I had to de-rust the gas tank in the H2 here. And I used vinegar and BBs from like a BB gun. There's something about that copper coating on the BBs that reacts with the vinegar, and it acts as an agent for pulling all this rust out. So it's probably what I'm going to do, because these tubes are unhindered. They're welded all the way around at the bottom side. So I think I'm just going to fill this, put a bunch of BBs in here, and then fill it with vinegar. Same with this one. Stand it up and leave it there for, I don't know, 12, 24 hours. And then wash it out really well, and then go in and blast it. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. Here is what it looks like after the vinegar sitting in there for 24 hours. You can't see it too well, but all sorts of material has come up to the top. It's been bubbling. Let's see if I can tilt it back for you a little bit. And it is nasty. So I'm going to put you on the stand. You can see me pour all the spooge out. And I'll go from there. I'll do some brushing in there. This is, I think, where I want it. Chain looks outstanding. It looks really parallel. I did all sorts of measurements, and we just so happen to be right back to our originally documented number of 28 to 30 from 28 to 30 millimeters from that that bracket, that main beam, the upper beam. So that's, I think, exactly where I want it. I'm gonna wipe these off and remark it, and this position is where it needs to be. I thought I would want it rotated up where I had this this cross line here to be at this point, so these would be rotated up to face us more while we're standing. But I realized if I do that, it's going to hit the caliper if the caliper's in that right location, somewhere around here. So we need to be able to get to these as well. And our caliper stay, I'm going to try to do this without blocking it, is good. We're not hitting the swing arm. All we have to do is weld a slot or a pin right on the swing arm for the caliper stay to be able to float on and capture. So looking good so far. I'm going to make some marks and then pull the swing arm and take a bunch of measurements and then tack it. I knew that my concrete slab was level enough for this type of silly work, so I took these 2 square tubes to raise it off the ground, and now I'm just taking a measurement from this end of the spindle or the shaft and that one to the concrete and comparing them, and I think I got it close enough. I'll do my best showing you with the phone. Approximately 1/8, 5 1/8. Maybe just a hair under. Five and 1/8. Just a hair under. So we're perfect. We're very good. So that's how I did it. I had to manipulate the carrier just a hair, and I have one tack on there right here. That was for this dimension from this point to this point, comparing it to there. So I'm going to tack this one here and then do these measurements once more. If I'm happy with it, then I'll add 2 more tacks on the bottom, and then we'll put everything back on. Okay, this is what primer I'm going to use. It's a 2-stage epoxy primer from Eastwood. And yeah, you just mix it 50-50. It's real simple. You can use a reducer if you want. In past painting projects, I did reduce it for various reasons. In this project for the swing arm, I'm not going to bother reducing it further. It should be broken down plenty, and I don't need much for the entire swing arm as well. So I'll mix a very small amount, and then we'll go from there. After the primer, I'm going to do at least 1 coat. I might do 2 coats. And then we'll go to this ceramic, ceramic chassis black from Eastwood as well. It's a 2K ceramic. And try to put on 2, maybe 3 coats of that. Definitely 2 coats. And then we'll move on to a clear. Now this is a satin black. I want the swing arm to be a gloss black. But if you're asking why I'm using all this crap, it's because I have it left over from a truck paint job that I did many, many years ago. I had a 08 6.4 liter Super Duty, and it was your typical fleet white color, and I went to a Meteor Gray from Eastwood and used all this product in the process. I also did a body off frame job on that, and I used this 2K chassis black, and it all turned out very pretty. So this is all left over, and this stuff's expensive, so I'm going to put it to use. So I'm hoping that this European clear it's a gloss, so I'm hoping this will bring out the gloss for the satin black. It should. So fingers crossed, let's hope it actually does. So that's the plan. I'm going to mix up the primer and clean up the swing arm, and we're going to get a coat of primer on there. Okay, here it is, all finished. So in the end, I don't know if this means anything to anybody, but I did 2 coats of epoxy primer, 2 coats of the 2K ceramic chassis black, which was a satin finish, and 3 coats of the European clear, and it came out very pretty. So that gloss clear definitely brought out the satin black, and everything's gloss now, very pretty, and it's all hardened up and ready to install. So let's put it on. Okay, we are done. I appreciate everybody's patience through this long drawn out video that I put together. Sorry for the repetition if there is some. See if we can turn around in the street. Before I couldn't do it. I had to use the driveway a little bit. Let's see if we can do it right on the edge, from one edge to the other. Oh, that's cool. So that wraps it up for this one, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for going through the swing arm modification with me. And feel free to ask whatever questions you want. A lot of lessons learned on that little project, in case anybody's interested. So next one, suspension. Part 4, suspension is on its way. That's going to be fun. So I took it for a spin down the road. I don't think I was able to get a lot out of it. Obviously it's not off-road. I need to take it up north, hit the trails. But winter season is pretty much here. It's very cold, and there's some circumstances that are preventing me from going up north and riding. So I might have to just put this riding trial on hold until further notice. So hopefully soon I might be able to make an exception and get out there and go beat on it and see how that swing arm feels. But I also kind of want to wait and see how it feels with the new suspension, front and rear shocks and everything. So stay tuned. That's next. It's going to be fun.